We're loving and hating and making scenes. Now we just see everything we believe.
Alright guys, so before we get started with the video topic for today, I do want to go ahead and just clear up a few things regarding the Plant FTK video that I posted, because as I've said in the ban list reaction, I literally had just got done posting a Plant FTK combo like literally 2 minutes before the ban list dropped. Literally 2 minutes before. And, you know, that really sucked because, you know, involving the Plant FTK, Summon Sork was a very key piece to this entire combo. And, you know, never threat. I mean, it took me all of 2 minutes to just figure this out. But essentially, all you need now is just any level 4 extender, and the combo is still here. Again, we choose Wyvern Burster because it's the easiest. It synergizes with the deck. There's a lot of darks. But you don't need Wyvern Burster or Collapse Serpent. You know, you could use White Rose Dragon, as I've said many times. You can use level 4 Dangers. You can even use something like a Photon Thrasher and whatnot, and you still have this combo. So you can't really pull this off with just Scorpio by itself anymore. You need a level 4 extender. However, when we get Crystal Needle Fiber, you know, we can now continue to play the combo with just Scorpio by itself again. You can only do it with Scorpio alone if Needle Fiber is in the game. So with that being said, here's where all the key differences are. Again, you just need a level 1 extender to sync with the Spore. You're still going to ban Stormfire for Spore, but that's not going to be until you make Saryu, just Skull Dread. Miko is going to float into World Child Scar Dragon, and Power Tool is going to reveal 3 DDRs until it gets one to your hand. And from here, now you are just going to banish some Lone Fire for Spore. Since you don't have a level 3 and a random monster being the Power Tool to just make Saryuja, you need to make a third monster. And bada bing, bada boom, guys. There you go. You still have your combo. You still have your Guard Dragon stuff. So, yeah, plants are still very playable. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the actual video. Yo, what's going on, YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here. And sorry for the clip that I had at the end of the video. It is something that's pretty important, especially since I had that Plant FTK. A lot of comments hitting up on that video regarding Summon Sources getting banned, so figured to just do a quick little revise, you know, so I don't have to make another 12-minute long video regarding that. So anyway, on to the real topic. We got top 5 decks of the new format. We're also going to include the release of Dark Neostorm because sneak peek is literally in a few days, so yeah, no reason not to include it. I mean, it is very important, especially since this ban list isn't going to be up for change until, what, July 1st, I believe that's when the no sooner mandate was. So anyway, with that being said, guys, Dark Neostorm has breathed some new life into a lot of different strategies and all that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start off. Now, there's 2 decks tied for number 5. One of them is going to be Pendulums with the Endymions, because the Endymion-based structure that did breathe some new life into Pendulums. It basically took what Pendulums are already good at doing and just added a new layer to it, just added a new layer of interruptions. They can still put out they can still put out the Amorphage cards, they can still put out Leechery, they can still put out Goliath, they can still put out Sloth. All without the assistance of Dark Matter Dragon. So that's something worth noting. There's not too much to say there. Again, Pendulums do what Pendulums do, except with the Endymions, it just adds another layer to it. So there you go. The second deck that is also tied for number 5, I'm going to give it to Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss, guys, Cherubini is coming out. That card does a lot for Burning Abyss in general. It's not Fairy Tail Snow, I understand. It is not Fairy Tail Snow. It does not offer those free interruptions. It doesn't offer, you know, just It doesn't offer just like messing around with the grave and manipulating your grave to where you can confidently resolve something like over a Hydrolander. I understand, but Cherubini is still an amazing card, especially when you have other builds like Danger Phantom, like Burning Abyss, which I've showed on this channel, to where you put up Redoer with the set rank up plus Beatrice plus UCT plus like Fogblade set and all that. That's still a real thing. Now granted, rank up is banned, but sitting on Redoer is still pretty good, especially if you can keep it on the board multiple turns. You just have free bodies at that point. You have a free disruption with the Redoer because you can spin a card back to the top of the deck. Cherubini makes those combos with the Rusty and the Beatrice, and even setting up Redoer on top of that, it makes it insanely more consistent. And, you know, to a lot of levels, because of the fact that you can access Graph a lot easier, summoning Seer to one of its zones, because anything under its zones can't be destroyed. That's huge. Burning Abyss being able to stay on the board for just a couple more plays after you put Dangers on the board and then level 4s on the board is really, really massive. It was really, really needed for Burning Abyss to be a little bit more playable. Now, granted, Seer and Graph are still at 1, so the deck might still lose to a single copy of Call by the Grave, but, you know, those turn 1 combos are still very, very real with Cherubini. You know, ending on Redoer, Beatrice, Fogblade, maybe a UCT on the board, that's no joke, guys. And they can just Boros Sword you the next turn for game. There's a lot of things going for that deck, so look out. Alright, number 4, we have Sky Strikers. Some are probably going to hate me for putting it so low on the list, but Kagari going to 1 is a big deal, but it's still playable though. You know, Sky Strikers may be a little bit down, but it's definitely not out. You know, it ain't down for the count. You know, it's still playable. You know, Kagari was essentially just more copies of multi-roll to get things back to their hand. And you still have cards like, let's say, Magna Reverse, which, funny story, I tried to buy out yesterday. When I thought, Kagari's at 1, I can just use Magna Reverse and just summon Kagari on the end phase and get a card back, and, you know, and then multi-roll set everything and then just do stuff. But then as I go to buy it out, well, somebody already beat me to it, because when I looked online yesterday, that thing was $50. But you can still activate cards like Monster Reborn turn 2 and things like that to get your Kagari back. There's multiple ways to get Kagari back. Sometimes you don't even need to. Sometimes you just need to resolve one multi-roll to still get yourself going. That may be all it needs. I mean, even if you don't want to go that route, you can still play Hercules base. You can search Hercules base with your Engage and send it with Area 0, send it with multi-roll, shuffle the Kagari back. The deck is still very playable, guys, because multi-roll is still a 3, because Engage is still a 3, and Widowmaker is still a 3. So definitely don't count that deck out yet, guys. Number 3, Danger Thunder Dragon. Yes, the deck got hit the most out of this entire ban list. Dark Matter got banned. Summon Sorceress got banned. Sky Blaster got limited, but the deck is still very playable. All the Dangers are still a 3, guys. The Dangers didn't get hit in the slightest. Danger Thunder will just go right back to what they were doing before they started incorporating Dark Matter. I'm talking about, you know, just accessing your Elfie. You know, you still summon your Eclipse Wyvern. You know, you make your Agripate and you summon your Abyss. You make this another Saryuja, yes. Instead of making Dark Matter, you're just going to either make Zombie Sign or 38, like the deck used to do, and still end on multiple Colossus like the deck used to. Now, granted, the whole Summon Sword combo wasn't really even the go-to. And I'm not talking about the Battery Man Solar Wyvern Burster combo, because if you had that, yes, you would go for it because it was guaranteed. But I'm talking about if you had like Dangers in your hand, and you just had an awkward hand. Like that route was only as a last resort when you absolutely had to. But normally you would want to go for Seconds of Light and a bunch of Dangers, and just hard make the first Saryuja and just do your Guard Dragon combo that way. You really wanted to do that over just making a Saryuja for 2. So now that does, because Summon Sword is gone, Reaper Docus is no longer an option for you to just Summon Sword combo your way into you know, your guard dragon shenanigans if you didn't already have it. But nonetheless, the deck is still very consistent because all the dangers are still here. Sackers Light's still at 3. Eclipse Wyverns are still here. Wyvern Burst and Collapse Serpent are both still at 3 copies per deck. That's pretty good. So, yeah, Dangerous Thunder Dragon is still a very dangerous strategy. Number 2, Orcus. Summon Sork did get banned. That kind of matters a little bit because before, because Summon Sorceress was a thing, you could push through hand traps if your Mermaid got interrupted. If I had Orcus Nightmare in my hand already, or if I had Harpoor in my hand already, and I discarded that for cost and my Mermaid got stopped, I could still, you know, put my way into a Summon Sorceress and still have something decent. But with Summon Sorceress gone, that might not necessarily be the case anymore. But you could just go into a Rusty now and just set up some Fog Blades. You have Orchestrated Climax now, so that's an option. The Girsu's now going to be a new thing. So Orcus may, you know, lean more towards a going second strategy, unless you just decide to splash Orcus with something that is a good going first strategy. Let's say like Cyber Dragon, for making Affinity to protect your Orcus combo. But what is really the Orcus combo now that Rank Up Magic is banned? It could just be sitting on Orchestrated Climax and a Babel. Who knows? So, with that being said, Orcus is still a very, very good strategy. Very generic. Just access to monsters and I access Mermaid. And Orcus is still a deck that is very, very good at playing on the opponent's turn, assuming you play the right cards, like, let's say, Longirsu and Orchestrion. So, at the end of the day, Orcus is still Orcus that do Orcus things. And, you know, it's definitely a deck to look out for. Moving on to number 1. Salamangreat. Lady Debug went to 1. Who cares? Silent Mining's coming out in Dane. Flame Buffalo was probably more commonly played than Debug anyway. And if it wasn't, just take out 2 debugs and just throw in 2 Buffalo. There you go. Easy fix. Or take out 2 debugs, throw in 2 Silent Minings. Easy fix. Even if debug, you don't get access to debug, you may still have a Gazelle in hand. You have Circle. All still 3. All the hand traps are still 3. Sanctum is still 3. Even though Sanctum Scythe isn't being played as much as it was, it's still a possibility. It's still there. The fact that they banned the rank up but didn't do anything about the artifact engine. Because, again, if Scythe resolves against, like, the right decks, and I mean decks that need their extra deck, it's a good game. Period. So, I guess Konami said, hey, rank up is not okay, but Scythe is okay. Whatever. So, not too much to say about Salamangreat. It's going to be the best deck. Hands down. There's no denying it. Lady Debug going to 1 did absolutely nothing. So, these are the 6 decks that you guys need to look out for. Again, a lot of people I feel like are underestimating Burning Abyss. We are the TCG, we're not the OCG. Us and the TCG love our Burning Abyss. Somebody here is going to find some, like, somebody's going to find a way to make that deck be really good. Cherubini is here, so there's literally no excuses at this point. And Burning Abyss are topping even before Cherubini. Now, again, it is not snow, but Cherubini is Cherubini, and Cherubini does things. So, I'm really, really excited for that as well. So, yeah. Someone start getting banned, guys. It's always the rogue decks. The rogue decks take the hit much harder than the meta decks do. The rogue decks are the one that suffer. Ah, man. If only, like, see, when it comes to meta decks, you know, all these, like, really good cards like Dark Matter, Summon Sword are just convenient. But when it comes to rogue decks, like, those cards are, like, needed. That's, like, the key difference. It's like, hey, if I lose those cards in my meta deck, it's fine, you know. I'm not hurting too much, but if a rogue deck loses those cards, it's a big, big deal. And I hate that. I really hate that. You know, so many rogue decks are taking so many hits. because of these other, because of what the meta decks are doing, and they're still going to be fine at the end of the day. As you see, Sky Strikers are still going to be good, Danger Thunder is still going to be really playable, and Summon Sword just got banned and just messed with other decks. In the process, Danger Thunder also got Brilliant Fusion banned. Still mad about that. Or limited, not banned, but just time and time again, meta decks will always be the cause for generic cards that rogue decks really need for getting hit, limited, or banned. This is why I don't like ban lists. So, with that being said, guys, let me know what you think about this top 5 list, and I will see you sometime later on this week. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This is J Money, and I am signing out.
Through the wastelands, through the highway.